One of the hoses just broke on the Tahoe from the heater core. These always break. I should have been carrying like a bypass kit in the truck, but I'm just gonna go ahead and see if I can get to a AutoZone or Oreallys. Here's the end that just broke, and I went ahead and parked it real quick before it overheated. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to cut this and do like a quick bypass. I think there's like an Oreallys pretty close right here.
Many minutes later.
All right, guys, I got the Tahoe back at the house, and I already figured this was gonna happen pretty soon, but the Tahoe just kind of beat me there. And what I ended up doing was just cutting the hoses and adding an elbow with some clamps on there just to quickly bypass the heater core, and that got me home. I also did just fill it up with water instead of coolant. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the coolant when I repair the lines back here. You can see one of them is hanging, and they always end up breaking from the back, so this is very common on these trucks. If you don't have a bypass kit in your car or truck, you might want to carry one, because these always end up breaking. But it's a simple fix. It's not too hard. And I mean, it just got me home right there, you know, so that's what it looks like right there. I went to the store and just purchased some adapters since I was in a rush, and I didn't end up using these, but they're nice because in case you don't have any tools, you can do it by hand. And as far as these, they were just a little bit too big. I ended up using this dormant part right here and just the universal clamps that I was able to use a flathead to tighten up. You can tell by my cuts that I did it real fast because they're all jagged. I was just trying to make sure that it wasn't gonna leak, so I put the hose seated all the way to the top and clamped them real good. And it has no leaks, so it's good. I'm just gonna leave it alone until I order the new parts. I have the other pieces that I cut right here. You can see that it's all dry and brittle inside, so they end up breaking from the plastic, not the actual hose. So some people actually like to remove it completely off and put the hose directly onto the heater core with some clamps. But most likely what I'll end up doing is ordering the correct parts so that it can be more, I guess, like a plug and play or with the quick connect setup, even though that this Tahoe doesn't have the rear AC. So I just have like single hoses, but they still have the plastics at the end. If you've been having your truck for a while and you're not sure or haven't changed out your heater hose connections, I would probably check them out just to make sure that they're not brittle and they're not gonna be breaking on you how they did on me, or at least carrying a bypass kit with you so that if this does happen, you already know what to do and you're not gonna be stranded on the road. Cause it's not hard to fix, but you just gotta know that you have to fix this part, because there's a lot of people that may not know that just by, you know, cutting the hoses and bypassing it, you can still, you know, get away by with some water and go home on your way. If you are thinking of upgrading your heater hose connections, you just wanna make sure to order the correct one. There's two different styles. For example, on my Tahoe, I have the one that has no rear heater, so I have single hoses on each end. But to remove the hoses, it uses a tool, so I'll have to order it myself as well because I don't have it right now. It goes behind the hose and it lets you slide it right out. If you do have the rear heater, it'll have the Y adapters, and those are pretty much easier to take off because they have a quick release that you can do by hand. And I'll go ahead and try to link them down below in the description as well, so whenever I order mine, I'll have them ready right there and I can go ahead and shoot that video next. Right now that I was looking at it, I was also noticing that my tires were getting a little bit low. So I'm actually using up the Oxedo air pump that I had from last time. And it's pretty cool because, you know, it's just compact and I can carry it. And I'm gonna go ahead and just fill them all up to probably 40 PSI today, because last time I did around like 36 PSI, I believe. I don't remember, but something like that. But usually I like to keep them more up, like 40 PSI. This tire is already at 31 PSI, so I'm gonna go ahead and change it to like 40 PSI. Should be good right there. Now I got them all to 40, and I'll probably just go ahead and charge this back up to 100%. Store it for next time. I had set up a poll on the Tahoe and you guys had voted for an interior upgrade, which I was almost in the middle of finishing up, but then this happened. So most likely I'll have to repair this first, and then I can go ahead and finish that video right there for you guys. But this might be a good thing so I can focus a little bit more on the interior upgrade. So if you like this content, just don't forget to like the video and check out the next repair here.